At this time, if y'all please rise, I'm going to ask Richard to lead us in a prayer, and then if you'll remain standing, we're going to start pledges.
Dear Lord, please be with us today as we try to love this county. Dear Lord, be with every one of these commissioners, judge, everyone in this room. Lead them in your way. Dear Lord, please be with all police officers, military, firefighters, all the first responders. Keep a healing hand over them at all times. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. Pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state under God, one indivisible.
Okay. Good morning. We'd like to welcome everyone that's making our meeting today. At this time, I'll ask you to citizen comments. And we don't. So let's go ahead and move into our consent agenda. And just take a look at it. And so we'll entertain any discussion or action. A motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
And a second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? No. Let's move into our regular agenda, and that's going to be number one. I don't think we can pass number 7 and go straight into number 8. Receive and approve a safety report. I'll defer over to Commissioner Friday to give us any kind of report.
We have no incidents reported on
Second. Have a motion and a second to approve that safety report. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? None passed. Number 9 is accept the record required monthly operation reports from county officials. In your package, you make those reports. I hope you got a chance to go over them. Is there any official who wants to give any kind of update on their report? Not then, take some action on these reports. Have a motion to approve those reports. Second. And a second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Item number 10, discuss take action on request from the Limestone County Fair Association to allow alcohol sales on March 22nd, 2025 during the LCFA concert fundraiser. And as y'all know, this is something we usually do each year, but just to make it legal, we want to make sure that it goes to the Commissioner's Court once again. So
motion that we accept the sell out on the 22nd of March.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion on this item? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? And that will pass. All right. Now then, item number 11 is discuss take action on increasing the communication tower expense by $5,000 this past year when we were doing the budget. One of the things I always look at is what we've done in the past. And so we weren't spending that much money in the past. And so I knocked it down a little bit. Now that I'm finding, based on what Matt Groff is telling me, is that he's going to run short in this line item. So we would like for you to consider raising or getting some money to put back in his line for the communication tower expense by $5,000. And we'll need to find out where we're going to find that, get that money.
Is there any money left in the federal money?
No, that was all for the
I thought it was
engineer.
December 31st.
Yeah.
I thought it was. We should take it out of our regular contingency. We have plenty in there.
make a motion to move 5,000 to the communication tower expense line out of contingencies.
I'll second that.
Well, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Anybody opposed? Excuse me. Let's go to item number 12, and that's going to be discuss take action on a resolution accepting a grant from the GLO and approval of a contract with MBW Management for hazardous mitigation plan preparation. Matt, you want to talk about this at all?
Yes, sir. This is quite simply just grant paperwork that we have to have once we seek reimbursement. Now, I will tell you this, everything going on in the federal government right now, there's a lot of discussion on whether grant funds that have already been allocated, which this $48,000 has already been allocated, will it be clawed back, will it not? We don't know that, and our state officials don't know that either. So we're just holding tight. We're going to go forward as just like we were in the first place, and we'll keep everybody informed. But it's merely a paperwork issue right
Thank you, Matt. We do have a resolution here. I could read it, but I think I'll take a chance to read it. What do y'all feel about this resolution?
I move we pass a resolution of the county, Limestone County, for the grant from the GLO.
Second. Motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay. Item number 13, discuss take action on a resolution approving the appointment of the board of directors of the First Texas Housing Finance Corporation. This is the housing, this is coming from all the different counties. And we had Scott Felton wanted to ask that we would consider Kim Stevens to appoint her on that position. I'll make a recommendation that we follow his wish and appoint Kim Stevens to the Heart of Texas Housing Finance Corporation. So, have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? And that will pass. All right. Moving right down the line here, item number 14. I tell you what, we're almost through. I was going to try to move the Costa folks up. I know they've got tons to do, but we'll just keep going in. Discuss it and approve for record the general election service contract between the Hampton School District and Limestone County. Jennifer, you want to tell us what this is all about?
These are, it's just the standard contracts that they do every year with Limestone County for this, Mahaya's Independent School District, and is for the county to conduct their election in the entirety.
They use our vote machines.
Yes, sir.
I move we approve that.
Motion and second to approve the contract with the Hampton School District. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Now passed. Item number 15 is the same flavor, just different.
This is lease of equipment only. You do not conduct you do not conduct the election for the city authority. They conduct their election, but they use the equipment from us.
Second.
Motion and second to approve their appointment to use our equipment, or lease our equipment. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Item number 16 then.
This is city of Waukena, and it's the same as ordinance of lease of equipment only.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion on item number 16? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 17 then.
This is for Groesbeck School District and the city of Groesbeck. They'll conduct a joint election, and they are asking Limestone County to conduct the election for them. So we will be running it.
We have a motion. Second. And a second. Any other discussion? Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 18.
This is for the city of Fremont, and they are asking to lease election equipment from us. They will conduct their own.
Second. Have a motion and a second. Any other-
Discussion.
Okay, hang on. We have a motion and a second. Now for discussion.
What do we charge for the use of our machines?
1%.
1% of what?
I'm sorry, 1% of the initial. It's 1% of the initial cost.
Because we're getting out of the county, that's really what I'm asking.
Right, we still just charge them the 1%. The commissioner's court can set the lease fee, according pursuant to the election code, anywhere from 1% to 10%. It was
1% of what?
1% of $2,995 for the ADA machine, and 1% of $2,495 for the regular arbitrage machine.
So
This is about. what they-
200 something bucks is what you're saying?
$294.
It's not much at all for them.
Do they pick them up and return?
They do everything, yes, sir. I do all the programming and the fronting and the testing for them, and then they go.
How much wear and tear on our machines is them? I mean, have you had damage to them moving them? And
Not leasing to the outside entities. I mean, over 20 years, we've had a damaged machine here and there, but I've never had one returned from a city or entity election damage.
And that's a great question that you're asking, Commissioner Forrest, because we're finding out that we're going to be mandated to buy all new equipment, and it is an unfunded mandate, of course. And it's going to be somewhere between probably close to $500,000.
It's getting there, yes, sir.
Has Bremont always leased from us?
They started leasing from us back in 2020. They had some issues with
I mean, I
their,
have nothing against Bremont, we're just expanding
The use, you know,
across 2 counties to get there.
we are. There is a reason why Fremont started asking to lease from us. They weren't able to continue leasing from Robertson County Elections Administrator. So they contacted ESNS, which is the company Robertson County uses, and us. And the amount to lease from ESNS was substantial. So ESNS recommended they call us, and it was back then that this kind of came forward and we began just leasing equipment. So we leased 3 machines to them.
I think on this shorter notice with the election in 90 days or so, that hopefully we'll approve this, but I would love to see you inform them in the future that we won't be leasing from the county. I mean, that's just my thoughts on how about this.
What about the contract, was the state about damage? Is there anything in there that affects?
I believe so. It's under condition of equipment upon return by city. I inspected when it's returned, and the city shall contact the county prior to delivery, confirm time for inspection unless the contracting officer or regulatory is given authority.
So if they break it, they're responsible.
Yes, sir. We inspected upon return. We checked the condition of the equipment. The city at its own cost and expense shall keep the leased equipment in good repair condition and working order, and shall see that the election equipment is not subject to service or needless from usage. In the event of loss or damage, the city, they're not responsible for the replacement, they would be responsible for
You said you
Repair,
got
sorry.
10% of the amount to charge them?
we charge, Limestone County charges 1%. That was set 20 years ago.
he's asking if you raise that, we could raise that.
I mean, even if we leased it out, we could charge them more to lease it since they need their equipment. I mean, we don't have to do it at the lowest end. We could go
Right, the court does have the option to go up on the lease fee. It's anywhere from 1% to 10%.
right, that's what I was asking, so we do 10%, you know,
But whatever you set for one goes for all.
for everybody,
Right.
even around the county.
Even if they're out of the county.
I can look at the election code and see if we can do separate for outside the county. When this was all said, it was across the.
In all fairness, then, why wouldn't everybody be calling and saying, let's just lease from Limestone County at 1%? A hell of a lot cheaper than spending $500,000. You see where I'm going?
Yes, right. Yes, that percentage can be changed.
And we should
It would be
figure
up
out
to
if we
the
can
court.
change it to where it's just for outside of Limestone County for somebody else using our equipment that's not at home.
I would recommend, this is all this item, I guess, with the new equipment that we're requiring to change to, we would probably look at that more in depth and look at our fees. When this was set at 1% 20 years ago, it worked.
Right.
With the new equipment, 1% may not be feasible.
Right.
No, not for the money we was spending.
We're mandated to use.
We're required to have everything in place by September 1st, 2026.
You said that's what they do?
Big chunk of change.
What was that date?
September 1st, 2026, and that's for the new,
Okay,
voter verifiable paper trail.
let's get back to, we do have a motion and a second on the table. Is there any other discussion on this item? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And that will pass. Okay, item number, thank you.
I know it's not on the agenda, Judge, but could we just verbally see if we have an agreement to in the future not lease outside Limestone County? Maybe put it on the agenda.
Put on the agenda.
I'd like to see that.
Okay. Next item is going to be discuss vacation of purchase of John Deere equipment for the Road and Bridge Department. I think y'all have this equipment for you. I think we should open it up for some discussion here and talk about not only what it is you're buying, how much money we had in the budget, and how we're going to pay for this equipment. Anybody want to?
Mr. Cannon, will you explain these 2 pieces of equipment that you're looking at?
One of them's a wheel loader, and the other one's a 210 excavator. And we got a loader that's down, we got another loader that's got several thousand hours on it. And, the one that's down is 1990 something, I believe. It was there when I started 26 years ago.
Is this like the one that you're replacing the new one? If you were to replace it, would you sell the other one?
Yes. It's,
But is it a sellable item if it's repaired? I mean, can it?
oh yeah, I mean, somebody would buy it, put it in the auction, somebody would go home with it.
Which we could apply that to the purchase price.
Right, absolutely.
And the other, the 210 excavator, we just got the one, and, we need a second one at a time to where we can keep moving on with some jobs.
And so, do you mind, what do we have in that line item?
390.
In the, road equipment line, they have 398,985.
So basically 400,000. How much is in the vehicle line that he said he was not using that we could change?
75.
76.
$475,000. And this totals how much? About $100,000 short.
Not quite, I don't think.
The total two invoices closed is 541,539. I just rounded it up.
Say that again.
541,539.
Okay.
And then what you have in
Add
the,
those two together. The, what he has plus the vehicle.
You have 475. So we're short about $70,000.
and you still have the contingencies. Road
That
bridge
wouldn't get nothing.
contingencies, 297,000.
I know Julie tends to get more than we ever think something's worth. But being experienced so long, how much do you think we might get for? 20, 10, 10 to 20?
Yes.
So basically we're $50,000.
And also, you said in the equipment, what was the line that you were talking about that you need?
I would
Like,
like,
you needed a
I
rental
would
vehicle or
like to
something.
keep about 10,000 in there for, we're gonna probably have to rent some equipment at the time.
That would be the equipment line.
Yes.
Okay, so it appears that we're still at about $75,000 short. Is that correct? Now, what you are hearing, plus or minus. And Natasha here's telling me that we do have 290 in contingency,
297,000.
297,000 still in contingencies, which
That's just the county-wide contingencies.
Yes,
We need
that's
to move.
the road, no, that's the road and bridge contingencies.
Well, in
Or
order
it's
to
not
do it,
a,
most
it's not a
people have
contingency that we have
77,000 for roads.
for materials.
It's,
Yeah.
yeah, it's the
Yeah.
one that you use at the end of the year that you end up moving into materials against that.
That's for, we need that for materials.
It's not unanticipated yet.
well, we do have unanticipated revenue. It's just that we budget it for so many months so that we can, now, I can tell you with what's happening in the United States, that number is going to continue to rise for a while. I believe, you leave that Murray out there at the private prison, I know you're not involved with it anymore, but I think their numbers are still way up.
I think, yesterday they were up over 800, so.
So that check's pretty good every month.
Oh, yeah.
How much have we got in that fund?
Right now, we've collected in admin revenue, 104,000. We budgeted 216, so we have not met the budgeted amount yet.
No way else to take out the monies.
We are, yes, and then y'all already,
So we're just 4 months in.
$700.
That's just 4 months in, right?
We've received, yes, we've received 3 months so far.
So that's just a quarter of it, and we're already over.
Could we move that money that's coming available, could we move that money back over to contingencies?
Well,
So we can just move it straight to the equipment line of road and bridge.
yeah,
Out of that fund?
absolutely, yes. That's easy, that's something we can do. I would not be, I know we budgeted it, even though we haven't got it, so we budgeted a lot of stuff that we haven't gotten in financially yet. I mean, everything for all the money that we got, supposed to be getting in as of January 31st, we were budgeting and stuff, so. Some of it is on the come, so to speak. I would not, I would still use the contingency, Bobby, so that we don't have to do anything wild. I would do that right now with the thought of as soon as that money comes available, moving it back into the contingency.
So you're saying
Well, that money's available now, there's $106,000 there.
Well,
we gotta get to 216.
it's how you wanna look at it, yes. That money's there, it's been brought in, but we budgeted it. But do we have to keep it aside until we get to the end?
Wait a minute,
That's.
the 216 we anticipated in revenue.
That's what we budgeted. That's
We
what
didn't have that budgeted to go out anywhere. Would that just gonna be surplus income?
It's,
Yes, that's a good point.
it goes to, because this money comes in and it goes into general fund, so it's part of what is offsetting your expenses in general fund. So yes, it is, it's already tied to your, it's what's used to balance your general fund now, budget, sorry.
But it really does, it's no different than annual on tax money. We know that money's coming in, and we're gonna be spending it out, so it's the same, in my opinion. You're gonna have to- We don't have.
Right, it has its own line.
So I wouldn't have a problem with that, Bobby, as long as you put it back in. as soon as it comes available.
Yes,
And that'd be about,
in the room.
we would reach that 206 probably in another 2-3 months at the rate.
I'm sorry, say that again.
We'd reach the 200, you said 206 is what we budgeted?
216.
216, yeah.
I think last year was available in June. We reached.
It's usually about mid-year. We received 3 months worth. We received October, November, and December so far.
What was brought in December?
35,000, 35,136. They've been averaging for those 3 months about 7 inmates, daily inmate count about 750. Has been the average for the 3 months.
So you feel comfortable as an auditor? You would feel more comfortable us taking it out of contingencies and then moving it out of that money after we reach the 250 something and moving it back to contingencies?
Yes.
I just don't want to short contingency.
But like you said,
That's robbing Peter to pay Paul. I mean, that's,
once that money
comes back as long as
we
we
can always
put it
get back,
back.
and then of course the sale of the.
Because we all know that contingency amount's in there to supplement road materials toward the end of the year that we need. It's,
As long as you're able to put it out, but I think last year, we have trouble even getting it all out.
we got it all last year. Yeah, we got it all out.
3 months.
I don't, that hurts the people if we don't have materials, we can't fix it.
Right, you still have, for the bookkeeping purposes and for when the auditor's looking at it and everything, the outside auditors, it's cleaner if you just go ahead and use what you have in your budget, and then when your budget runs low, then come and pull from here once the money is truly available.
So let me ask you a question on that. On September the 30th, when our new budget started, okay, we had not got September. We had not gotten September's. So didn't we get some other months from last year into this budget year?
It has to be applied back. I have to do journal entries of it and apply it back to last year's. Because it's money that was anticipated, it's money that was budgeted to be received. And in the month, because it has to be the month that it was anticipated for and be applied back to that, not when it actually was received. Because they paid for September, but we received it in maybe November, so a journal entry is made to apply it
So my
back to
question
last
to you
year's
is
budget.
this right here. On September the 30th, we had at least 1 or 2 months that we had not gotten, that we couldn't use because we hadn't gotten. And then it went back to an old budget that now we're gonna get popular. Is that correct?
Yes.
So are we losing 2 months of this money each year?
No, I mean, you're not losing it.
We're not
It's-
losing it, it's
it's-
going into savings, right, at this point. And is there not some way within the auditing system that we could use this money if we want to?
But it was last year's, because if I don't do the journal entry for it, the outside auditors, when they come, they're gonna do it. So they're gonna pull it from your current one and move it back, and then you're gonna have, then the current budget that we're in is gonna be off
But
balance.
on September 30th, we couldn't use the 2 months that we'd already earned. We couldn't use it because we hadn't received it.
But why are you wanting to use it?
If
That.
we never get to use it, it always goes straight to savings.
Well, let me ask you something. So now we have 104,000 that we received from LaSalle. And so we had, even though we haven't hit that mark of the 260,000,
what I'm saying.
we've anticipated that money to come. Is it gonna be a auditing out there to use that 104, even though we haven't reached your mark of the 216,000 that's budgeted?
You've already used
Or-
27
Or
of it.
2,700, right.
I mean, you use that much of it. It's
That's what I'm
hard
asking.
to call it unanticipated revenue
Right.
when,
Well, no, I'm saying, I know it's anticipated, I mean, this is anticipated, but it's here now.
because
It's
this is
actually
the only
physically
line,
here.
this is the only line that you'll use this way.
Right.
You don't use any of your other revenue lines and refer to those as unanticipated
What-
revenue lines.
What you're saying, it would be cleaner
This is the
if-
only one that you
if-
do that way.
if we move the 75 out of contingencies to the equipment line to complete this transaction. And then, to make it even cleaner, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, we reset, we take the 75 we took out of contingencies, don't put it in contingencies, just put it back in our road materials. Because that's where it's gonna ultimately go anyway.
If you're short and you're needing it, I mean, yes, that would make.
Because in June or July, we take the contingency and move it to road materials, spread it out over 4 precincts anyway. So we can just do that. No reason to move the contingency and then turn around and move it again. I'm okay with that.
Because then
As
you're
long
gonna,
as-
then you're
as
gonna
long as
have
we're
more of
not
an
short
accurate,
road materials.
then you're gonna have more of an accurate number of what you're truly gonna even need. I mean, you may not need the whole 104, you know, if you're wanting to move the 104,000, you may not even need that much. You may not need
We're
the
talking about moving
75.
75.
Yeah, you may not even need the 75.
Well, it pretty much is gonna use it.
I mean, you just, it's kind of one of those things. Yes, you could, we budgeted for it, but there have been many years that we have moved that money into the road material line. And when the budget year was ended, you still had over 300,000, 500,000.
Yeah,
some
2 years ago, I think it was that one.
You know,
But we spent it all last year.
yes, we did, but then you also, you don't know. I mean, that's why, I mean, wait till you do know until you need it to move it instead of trying to do it so far ahead.
Is there a way that it's usually 2 months, is it every 3 months that it does work out that we get our money? And we have a place to put it other than savings?
Say that. Okay. Because it's about from when LaSalle invoices the ICE and US Marshal Service, they have to wait till the month is over from when they invoice them and everything, and then those entities then wire the money to us. It can be anywhere from 45 to 60 days, give or take.
Okay.
Once they do that, then I pull the money, I make a payment to,
I
I make a monthly payments to LaSalle, but for each month, I have to wait till that money comes in to be able
I
to
get
roll our admin fee.
You haven't received January's.
The point,
Okay.
the point I'm trying to make is that on September the 30th, we start, or October the 1st, start a new budget. We have 2 months that we could have as much as 2 months coming that we can't use for the first 2 months of this next year. To get ahead, it just always goes into savings. Am I right about that? How do we stop it?
Hey, because it's just it's the way it has to be
We
reported.
just take
with
40 down
county
to fund
government
balance.
and
We
stuff.
do it that way.
It's just the way
We don't have to do
county
that.
government and everything and your budget and stuff. It's not so much when you actually receive the money, it's when that money, for the month that money was technically being received for. That's when it has to be applied back to.
And that fund balance just keeps growing every year.
And so in
The
September,
general fund balance, yes.
so we couldn't say, we're gonna spend this money in September, knowing that we got it coming. We couldn't spend money in government, who knows?
And at this rate, we can unanticipated by
Well, we take it out.
by May, it'll hit the 260 mark.
Yeah, but what about I tell you, we're getting, Limestone County's supposed to be getting 12 months per diem from that out there. And although we're getting it, we're having a budget for how many months does it take to get our over budget?
It usually takes about 5 to 6.
Okay, let's say it takes 5 months, 6, 7 months, you've only got a few months there that we can actually have anything, if something like this came up. All right, what do y'all want to do about buying this equipment?
make a motion that we take the 75,000 out of contingency with the future of putting the 75,000 back in from unanticipated revenue.
Now,
Okay, wait a minute, we got a motion
second.
and a second, now discussion.
Okay, we need to ensure that we're gonna leave monies in road materials and Bristol trailer, so, you know, right, it's
Road equipment.
road equipment, yeah, the 10,000, so,
That's 75 to do.
okay, gives us 67,144, I guess, is the leftover that we have to pull out of another check, so 77.
Well, we're gonna get 10 to 20
Right, I just don't want to leave.
from Jerry Lee,
Yeah, what do you
if
need?
that's where we put it.
Yeah, okay. So,
And I don't know if we need to include that on the motion, or if that be an agenda item for next month,
Oh, you can amend it.
Yeah.
You want to amend it?
Sure.
that we put,
And you second that amendment?
put those on Jerry Lee.
Second.
We do have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion on this item? If not, all in favor, say aye. Anybody opposed? Okay.
Okay, can I just clarify?
Yeah.
To make sure I'm understanding something or not. So we're using, because I'll have to do a budget transfer to make sure. So we're using everything in road equipment at first. We're using everything in the vehicle line. And then make up the difference from contingencies to buy the two
We're moving
pieces.
75 out of contingency,
Okay.
which may leave them a little bit of cash.
And then when the sale of, are we selling both pieces or just one?
Just one.
Just one. So when the sale of the one comes, I will deposit it back into
Equipment,
The equipment line.
the road equipment.
because he wanted to keep about 10 in there in case he had to rent a piece of equipment.
And then, when we meet for the, in here in a few months, we'll put it on the agenda again to move whatever I took out of contingencies
75,000 back into the contingency.
and put it back into contingencies.
Correct.
I just wanted to make sure I've got everything, if that's how you want it.
Okay. I think we've, let's go ahead and vote on that. I don't know if you did or not. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Now,
Costi wish we had moved up.
yeah, I know it. Sorry, Mary.
Sorry, we're used to it.
All right. The, item number 20, discuss take action on the utility line agreement with City of Posse. We've got this agreement that's come in. Y'all want to visit with the commissioner about this at all?
Well, yeah, the reason we're here today, we're having some, welcome expansion around Casa, people moving in, expanding water lines and so forth, and, we had a recent one that we're ready to install a water line, and something that we've done for a long time with a lot of properties, and we're told that we can't do it this way, and so we didn't have a chance to meet with Commissioner Goodman here, but, that is what we can do to get this solved, get this customer online, and we're gonna have others coming out here pretty soon. I'm gonna have Charles Dickerson, who's our Public Works Director, he knows all the details on it. Charles,
Come on up and tell us everything we need to know.
Basically, all to just extending that water out now, Cameron Road. We've done this many times in the past, I have lots of water lines, county right of it. This one here is a little different. It would have been, as Mr. Chamberlain explained, talked about, to put the water line on private property. However, the owner of the property is not willing to give me any kind of easement. So I'm still coming back to the county road. And that's all I'm trying to do. Nothing special. We do stay within, we try to stay within 4 feet of the property line because of our equipment. Sometimes we can't do that. I do not like to be in the bottom of ditches. The minimum depth I normally run is 36 inches deep. So that if the county comes and tries to fix something, hopefully they don't hit it. Accidents happen. When I go through a drainage ditch, I usually put in a casing. It's usually double. If I put in a 2-inch, I'll put in a 4-inch casing. In drainage ditches, I may go down 4, 5, 6 feet just to ensure I don't have any problems. I don't want to come back.
How far are you running in the county right away?
This particular water line, it was 3,300 feet.
Issues, they create a problem for us, the county, when we're out there doing the work, especially if they put valves in it, which you got to have valves to isolate at the time. It just if there's any way possible to keep it up behind the fence, it's always, in the future, it's better.
We use Limestone Municipal Water District example, bring water from the wells at Personville all the way to Mahale. They ran all that on private property. And they offered incentives to the landowners with a water tap, free water tap if y'all.
Well, this customer only has a field and is not interested in city water at all.
I think everybody down there has water. One of them wanted to switch from, Tri-County water over to County water.
They are in Tri-County territory, but their water line, I'm sorry, the house is not in Tri-County territory. It's in no man's land. Their meter, they currently have water from Tri-County, and they don't want their water line. They got 500-600 feet of water line, they've had a break and made a problem. So they're wanting to shorten that distance so that they can maintain it. The way they do that, it comes to the cost.
And the gentleman that won't let you cross his or won't let you have an easement through his property, he has 3,300 feet.
Exactly.
That's his property.
He owns the whole, well, the one piece in the middle, one guy does own, he does have city water. He's okay with us coming through his property. But all around him is enough.
Is the fence actually on his property, or is the fence line in the easement?
The water line that feeds the customer that we have now, that's his private water line.
Because some of these fences are in the county easement,
Yes, the fence is approximately 25 feet off the roadway.
so it's in our easement.
Yes. If he was behind our fence, if he was behind the fence, he would still be in our easement. If he stayed within that 30 foot.
And there's,
The fence is on the county line, is on the county easement.
we have 30 feet.
We have 30 feet from the center of the roadway. And I measured that day, me and you were down there, and it was, where I measured, it was 25 feet.
The wrought iron fence at the house or the pasture?
The pasture fence.
So
I could run behind the fence, it should be in our right of way.
I just see a problem, there's a lot of brush in that ditch, it's gonna have to be cleared. If you're gonna stay within that distance of the fence. Yeah. And,
I
we,
would like to see it all the way to our, right there on that 5 foot. But I talked to that man and he said, no, he wouldn't give us an easement, he wouldn't give them the easement. I talked to the landowner.
Well, we've already got an easement.
But we already have an easement, so why can't we put the water back behind this fence?
well, if your easement goes back that far, I go by the fence line, I don't know what your easement is.
Well, we'd have to survey to see where his actual
Yes,
property came to. He might be surprised.
yes.
We do have 30 feet though from the center of the road on each side.
Well, actually, a survey of his property he's gonna own to the middle of the road. We just have an easement. Right. Because he's actually gonna own to the middle of the road. Have you explored, this line's obviously a lot longer than 3,300 feet. Have you explored a road board to the other side and traveling down?
No, we have not. I'm talking way more.
Let me just put out here real quick. My understanding, they're worried about damaging this thing and the county being liable for it. We want to sign an agreement if that happens. It's our line and so forth. But I mean, this is not, to me, rocket science. I mean, it's out in the middle of the country. And I understand the deals and technicalities, but trying to jump 5 feet over on somebody's property who doesn't want you there, we're not here to create a hassle. And if it's something that is, hey, look, if we've got trees we've got to take out and everything else along there, but if there's something that we need to come up in an agreement that if this is damage that the city of Cassia or whatever will cover it, we want to address that to get this project. And I said, there's going to be other things coming down the road, and we'll do everything possible to comply with what the county wants to do and so forth. But, I mean, I don't want to, it doesn't do any good to create a big brouhaha over 5 feet in something that's in the middle of the county, and it's unlikely, very unlikely, that where we put this water line, it'll ever be hit by equipment again, other than.
Mr. Trenum, what if we address the depth of the water line? obviously would be easier than doing a road bore and having it eased down the other side and then road bore back. I mean, that would be more expensive. But instead of, you know, and I don't know where you're talking about 36 and deeper in the creeks, whatever, but maybe buried at 48 instead of 36.
I go 48.
But that, I mean, of course, the valves are still gonna be.
Well, yeah, valves, you know, it ain't really the water line, it's the valves that come up, and if they have water leaks, we got some roads where the water line's right at the edge of the road, and they tear the road up, you know, and it's an issue, you know, for us to have to go back and patch and in the future, I would just, you know, try to make things better for the county.
One thing you said that makes me worry a little bit too, you said this is just the first one. Are you gonna be doing some more? And
There's property being bought and being subdivided that they've addressed, they've come to us about sending water out there, that we've got the capability of doing it. I don't know the specifics of it, but like every place else around here, people are moving in the area, they want city water, and, we've got the capability of doing it.
is developer that's subdividing and paying for all this extension of city
Yeah,
contract?
they would, sure. And that's what we're saying on this, we have a list of properties we've been, roads that we've done this very same thing for the last years. That's why we were surprised when this came up. So, I mean, Charles got the list of the,
Well, that's right, it has been done for years, and that's the reason I know that when the water leaks pop up, that it creates problems in the road. And that's like what we do on the subdivision.
Yeah, and there's more and more people coming into Limestone County every day, buying 100 acres and cutting it into 500 tracts. Coming slums out there.
I'm not trying to deny anybody water, I mean, I'm just trying to look to the future.
I'm thinking on this one though, we're going to get them water, I think we're going to let them go out. Clear it as much as you can, but I'd like to see it deeper. I want the county to be not responsible for nothing on repairs. If we hit it, even if it's our fault. I mean, if we did something stupid, y'all gotta fix it, not our. And the only other deal I'm worried about is if you do have a water leak and it ruins our road, then I mean, are we gonna be able to come to y'all and get any reimbursement?
Let's make sure we understand one other thing though. If we set this precedent on the easement that we already have, will that give other people in the future the right to say, I know you have an easement, but I still don't want you on my property? Correct.
Everybody down there's got water, they just don't like the company they're with at this time.
My problem is you go up on somebody's property and put in an easement, such as this gentleman, he comes down and decides, hey, I'm gonna settle this, break it up into 10-acre lots. These people have no idea who I am, that I have a water line there, and now I'm trespassing on their property.
We're not trespassing.
No, you're not.
You go out there at 3 o'clock in the morning, try to fix the water line and see what happens.
You call the sheriff, because I've done it many a times.
we're trying to avoid that kind of thing, so. I mean, I think if it's burying things deeper or whatever, I mean, that road down there is then well maintained to begin with. It's not like it's Highway 7 or anything, so, my point is that, we just like to come some sort of idea, if y'all need to go deeper, some sort of deal to cover damages on valves and that kind of thing. We're willing to do that, but on this project, we'd like to get it going, and in the future, get a clear guideline, written guideline as to what they're gonna wanna see for us to expand this in the future, so I can take it to council, so this is what we're gonna need to do.
What bothers me is it's just, you're saying it's the first amendment we're going to run into and set precedents.
No, you already got precedents, we've had precedents for years. All right, that's my point, it's like, we're here because this is out of the ordinary. And certainly I understand things change and so forth. All we're asking is that on this particular project, we have done everything. The guy didn't want us on his property. It's not, and as I say, it's not an area that any road can get damaged or whatever, all right? But you also have a certain amount of expectations, all right? It's very unlikely where this is and the amount of maintenance, et cetera, that goes on down there, there's gonna be damage. If there is, we're willing to cover that kind of thing. And I'm just saying down the road, as things go on, there's gonna be other things that happen. You got Tri-County who doesn't want to supply water anymore. They've got their own issues going on. To us, if we've got the ability to do it, we need it. It's a revenue source for the city of Casa. And, we're paying off our own water bills, our water plant and all that other. All we're asking the county is on this particular project, work with us. What do we need to do to make this work so we can get this? But give us some guidelines for what you'd like to see down the road. Certainly, if we had a big project that we're talking, we come talk to you something like this, we come talk to y'all about that. I'm just saying there's other things, there's people calling all the time, can I get water? We have to tell a lot of them no. I mean, we've done a lot of finding how much it's gonna cost to get them water. They say, well, yeah, I don't think so.
And that's the reason I asked the question,
Absolutely.
is your developer paying for all?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're not doing.
Well, it may be that many feet, he's
Oh,
shelling out some bucks to
I know.
get that water to this problem.
They know how to roll into the price of those lots and that kind of thing. And as I say, that's not even a done deal. I'm just saying, we are having multiple people address us with this. So, but on this particular one, this is a good customer, they've been around, they've been to it, they want to pay for it, et cetera. And we're just trying to get by a matter of a few feet of whether it's being on the fence line or not. We're not going into the bottom of the ditch with it.
Mr. Mayor, if I understand correctly, you're saying to this one landowner who doesn't want to live with the easement that the county has, it is his land, that 30 feet is his land, but we have an easement for utilities through there, and he's wanting to say, I don't care that you have an easement, and y'all are okay with that? Tossie's okay with that.
I'm saying he's not in the city limits of Casa.
Okay.
Number two,
So then I don't understand who makes that decision outside the city limits?
got it.
That's right.
Sure.
So how does he tell you that that you can't do something that we have the final say on?
Well, then I'll be glad the commissioners come down there and tell that man to get it. We're gonna dig through your property and be
No.
happy about it.
On the easement that we have.
That's right.
And if he's not happy, I'm sorry. I wasn't happy this year and I got my taxes.
Well, neither was I.
But anyway.
But no, I'm just saying on this is.
Joe, do you want to do it?
Not a problem. I want it in the easement. we got 5 foot over there. That's where I would like it.
Now, the question of that is,
Let's make him do it.
5 foot
What's he
over
gonna-
there to
can
lay
he
the
stop
lines,
us legally?
but you won't have to get on his property.
That's,
I'd not be able to.
20 feet.
Access.
we're talking about
Pretty
getting on
good
this
equipment,
property.
so-
It may be an easement, but I say, I've been 35 years in the home building down in Houston and watched all those 16-foot issues underground and watched people go ballistic, pull guns and everything else because they're trying to put a cable line or get the boxes back. Well, I'm not saying this is what's gonna happen. I'm just saying, why is this side of the deal or this side of the deal? If y'all have no liability on it and we're willing to bury it 4 feet deep, why start a war or an issue with a landowner? That's
Well, I
all.
don't think we can put it the other side of the fence anyway, because even if we have 5 foot more over there, you can't get equipment in there, so
You can't get
you would have to have an easement.
Did you measure it? It was about 5 foot.
In the one spot where we looked at it,
Yeah.
it was 25, and that's most of, there's very few places that the fences are back 30 foot,
But you had 25 to where the fence is, the center. And the actual ditch that you worried mainly about
Yeah.
is how many? I don't know. So how much room do you have in there? Do you not have?
Well, there's a lot of brush in there, y'all go, they say y'all gonna clear the brush, take the stumps out, no,
It doesn't matter what they do.
Yeah.
They're gonna do what they have to.
but, it's just, over the years, the valves and stuff in the ditches create a problem.
Sure.
But
But we may not be talking about the ditch, we may be talking on the upslope, maybe the ditch. I've got to the well on the upslope. I'm not even gonna be.
Not gonna be in the ditch.
I would like to see it. I'd like to get the man water. Just get it as close as you can up there. But in the future, we're going to come up with some rules on this for, yes, I'd like to make a motion. Yes.
You want to
See what I'm
go
saying? Yes, sir.
I have a motion.
With the restrictions that they're responsible for any damage.
Yes, but I think
The
the
shredder hits
most
the
of
valve.
it's in there.
the way I read it, we're not responsible for very much in this agreement. I mean, y'all are responsible. If we break it, then it's our deal. That's what the motion's for, right there.
You put it 48 inches deep.
Is that in your motion?
Oh, yes, sir, then 40, I thought I made it clear, 40 to 48.
So we do have a motion right now to approve the agreement. They're gonna go 48 inches deep on this water line. Anything else that
And be responsible for
be
anything.
responsible for all this? I have a motion, do I have a second? Second. I have a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No.
Thank you all very much, appreciate it.
Okay, item number 21 is a subject that has been brought up here lately, not only from my court, but from the district courts. And I don't think I'm ready to ask y'all for anything yet. We're having to have a lot of interpreters come up and interpret. And I know that we're having to ask people, employees, just to come up from different parts of the different departments that can speak Spanish. We don't have anybody. We don't have an interpreter on payroll. So we're having to ask these people to do it. I didn't know if we wanted to think about maybe some form of a stipend to help with them. Although they're still a Limestone County employee, I've always had a problem with stipends because you are here making money but you are doing us a favor. I'm gonna ask that we pass this item and let me do a little more homework on that before we bring this up. But we do have a problem within the county of having court and having Hispanics in court that we have to have an interpreter for. So,
What you saying now? I didn't catch it. So you're wanting to pass it to where we're doing it?
no, we don't talk about it today.
Oh.
I'm not quite ready. I put it on the agenda, but I don't call it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask.
One of those in a stone for you,
C. Okay, let's go ahead and go into item number 22, budget transfers. First we have on is for the communication center. And you got everybody. Okay. And this is from the communication center. They wanted to move $500 around. This for some employee testing that they're having to do. So we have a motion and a second to approve that budget transfer. Any other discussion on this item? Not all in favor, say aye. Any opposed? That'll pass. Item number B is a budget transfer from precinct 2 constable. And that's gonna be, he needs some more envelopes. You wanna move $100 out of his office supply, or from his conference schools, and over to his office supplies to get these envelopes. So have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? And item number 3 is just action on 694. This is for the emergency management, $5,000 that we approved earlier. Just for a record, y'all want to approve this budget transfer? We already actually did, but if y'all want to just make it for record right here, let's do it.
So moved.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. And item number 23 is the adjournment. Does anybody want, yeah, we do have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. We stand adjourned. Thank you, all.